Hi lovely people and welcome back to my tutorial for today. Thank you very much for stopping by, and please, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so by touching on that red icon to subscribe and also touch notification bell so let all to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be looking at how to cut an off shoulder gown. An off shoulder flay gown. So first we shall be cutting the down part before the upper part. Okay, here this is the two edges of my fabric. So it's either I use this one to fold in a square form, or I choose this edge. Any part, any edge you want, you can take and fold. Just hold it this way, then fold like so, this way. Just fold in a triangular form. Like so. So now having done this, I will determine how cumbersome I want my flay to be. As you can see, I have extra allowance here because I did not drag this to the end. But if you want yours to be fuller, you can take it to the end. But I think this adjustment that I did here, it's enough for me. So the next thing to do now is to determine the length of your dress. And the length of the dress I'm working with is the length of the dress I'm working with is 41 inches. Then my half length is 17 inches. So 17 minus 41 will give me 24 inches. So here I'll be marking 24 inches. Then for my waistline, my waistline is 38 inches. So when I divide it by 4, I will have 9 inches. So here I will place my tape to get my 9 inches plus 1 inch that I will be using to join it, and for the ease, because this is a stretchy material, so I'm adding only 1 inch, so making it 10 inches. So when I place to get my 10, I will just mark there. This way. So from there now, I will start to measure my 24 inches, which is the length of my dress. So I will mark 24 inches round. As I'm marking, I'm also adjusting my tape like so. Hope you're seeing what I'm doing. So I'll just be marking my tape, my 24 inches. So I'm adjusting the tape and I'm marking my 24 inches. So after marking it, I will just connect my lines. Okay, so this is what I have. So I will just go ahead now and cut it out. No need of hip measurement because this is a free dress. So I'll just cut, only the hip measurement is required. Okay, this is what I have after cutting it out. So the next thing to do now is to cut out my back part. So for the back part, I will open it up. I won't be folding it into two. I will just be cutting it one, and it will be having a zipper. So I'll just take my front part, place it on top this new fabric to cut out my first one part of the back. So here I left 1.5 inches for my zipper. So I'll just go ahead now and cut it out. Okay, I've cut out the back part. So now I'll just remove this front and use this back to cut the other back. But mind you, sorry, let me notch this zipper part. Let me place it back so I can be able to notch it and know where my zipper is for easy identification. Okay, I'll just hold it here now and then notch it out. Okay, you can also use my chalk to mark my zipper. Okay, so here is the back of my fabric. When placing the second, okay, when placing your back to cut the other half, make sure that the front part is facing the front part of this one, so as not to make mistake or ending up cutting out the same thing. So this now I'll go ahead to cut it out. So I've also notched out the second part and I will mark my back part, but I'll be marking it at the zipper area this way, just to serve as a guide when I'm joining it. Okay, so this is all for the down part. So we proceed now to cut out our upper part. So for the upper part, we'll be cutting the front part first. So here I have my 4 lines, okay, 5 lines. Here is where my measurement will be starting from. Then here is my half length. Then here is my under bust. Here is my bust point, and here is my upper bust. So here, because this is an off shoulder, I'll be minusing 5 from my measurement, and I have my half length to be 17 inches minus 5. So I'll start my measurement from this 5 inches. So here is my half length, 15 is my under bust, 12 is my breast point, and 9 is my upper bust. So at this point here, I'll be taking my bust measurement, and the bust I'm working with is 40 inches. Divide by 4 will give me 10. So I'll just mark my 10 inches here, and here I will mark the allowance, and the allowance I'll be using is 1.5 inches, which is here. Then here I'll be marking my I'll be inputting my waistline measurement, and the waistline I'm working with is 38 inches divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. So here I'll just mark my 9 inches and mark my 1.5. Okay, so here we'll just connect these lines. Okay. So the next thing I will do now is to impute my nipple to nipple measurement. The difference between one nipple to the other nipple. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches divided by 2 will give me 3.5. So here I'll mark my 3.5, but I'll be adding an allowance that I will use in joining them. So I'll be using half an inch to join them. So it'll be giving me 4 inches. So I'll mark my 4 inches here. If you know what you use in joining, you attach it. And when you are joining, make sure you take it off. So I'll mark my 4 inches down to my waistline. So I'll just make a straight line to connect them. So coming to this upper part, I won't be marking the 4 inches. Instead, I'll be marking 5 inches there. Here. So I will just connect it again to join here. So I have this. So next thing to do is to impute our dart. Okay, here I'll be taking 1 inch here and 1 inch for this side. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll take 1 inch up here and I'll take 1 inch here. Then coming to my nipple point, I'll be taking 1 inch down and 1 inch up. 1 inch down and 1 inch up. Sorry. So coming to this upper part, I will come out by 1 inch here. I'll come out by 1 inch at this side and 1 inch at this side. So I'll connect this to this point and I'll connect this one to this point. This way. Just make a straight line to connect it. Okay. Then I will come down here from this 1 inch now. I won't be going straight. I will just make a little curve here to meet here and another curve again this way to meet this 1 inch here. This is not a straight line. Just curve your hand to meet the 1 inch and curve your hand to meet this 1 inch here. Then after that, you now make a straight line to meet the down 1 inch at the waistline. Do the same thing at this side also. Okay. So after doing this now, these inches that we might not see, this darts that we might not see, we'll add it up to this point. So here we use 2 inches. So we come here again, add 2 inches plus extra 1 inch that we will use in joining it. That we use in joining this side part to the center part. Then at this point again, we add 3 inches. 2 inches plus extra 1 inch, making it 3 inches. Then here at this point I'll be marking my 2 inches, because here is 1, here is 1. So what we have here is 2 plus another 1 inch. Sorry, here is half, here is half. So when you check it, you see that it's 1 inch, then plus 1 inch for your joining, making it 2. So you mark your 2 inches here. Then coming to this upper part here, we will first of all mark our 6 inches. You know, our shoulder, to get our off shoulder, our shoulder measurement minus 2. So the shoulder we are working with is 18 inches. Divide by 2, sorry, 16 inches, divide by 2 to give us 8 inches. Then that's 8 inches now minus 2 to give us 6. So here is our 6. Here is our 6 inches. Then this 2 here that we minus here, we will add it up again. This 2 inches, then plus 1 inch for joining, making it 3 inches. So we mark our 3 inches here. So having done that now, I'll go ahead and connect this line. Then from this 3 inches now, I'll make a slight curve. Sorry, a straight line from this place to meet this place, and that will form our armhole. Here. Hope you understood what I did here very well. I minused 1 inch here, 1 inch here. Then here at the bust point, I come up by 1 inch, go down by 1 inch. Then at this under bust, I come out by 1 inch here, 1 inch here. Then at the waistline, 1 inch here, 1 inch here. This place, the line will be connected straight. But from this 1 inch now, you make a slight curve to meet this 1 inch and do the same here. This will serve as our breast curve. So here, I will just go ahead now and cut it out. Okay, this first 2 lines that I drew here, I won't be making use of it again because I've added it to this place. So this is the line that we are making use of, not this one again. So I will just cut it out this way. Then here I'll cut this one. Okay, so now we'll cut out here. So this is what we have. So this is what we have. So I'll just go ahead now and make the neckline that I want. So before that, let's cut the back part. Okay, here I will take out my 5 inches again and measure my half length, which is 17 inches, and this is my under bust. So at this line now I will take my bust measurement, and the bust I'm working with is 40 inches. Divide by 4 to give me 10. So I'll mark my 10 inches here, and I'll add my 1.5 for my allowance, which is here. Oh, sorry, a mistake. So let's clean here. And first of all, mark our 1.5 for our zipper. I'll just mark my 1.5 and I'll connect the line before I start my measurements. Okay. I'll just make a straight line here. Okay, for the back, we mark 1.5 here for our zipper, and then we take out our 5 inches and measure our half length, which is 17 inches, and we mark 9 inches for our under bust. So at this line now, we start our measurement here at this part. Then we take our bust measurement, which is 10 inches. I'll mark my 10 inches here, and I'll mark my 1.5. So coming down here, I'll take my waist measurement, which is 36 inches divided by 4 to give me 9 inches, and I'll mark my 1.5 for my allowance. So coming here, okay, sorry, before that, I will take my nipple to nipple measurement to impute my dart. So here I'll mark my 4 inches, and I'll mark my 4 inches here. I will mark that same 4 inches here at this upper part. I'll make a straight line. Okay. So at this place, I'll mark. So after making this straight line now, I'll come here and do the same thing I did at the front, which is my my shoulder measurement, which is 16 divided by 2, 8 minus 2, 6. So I'll just come here now and mark my 6 inches. But you know, I'm going to cut out at this place just to make it as kind of that. So I'll be using half an inch. There is 1 inch to join it. So I'll add that 1 inch here, making it 7. Then I'll come here and add 1 inch again for the joining, and I'll add another 1 inch here for the joining. So I will connect the line. So this line now is the one that we'll be making use of, not the initial one that you drew before. So here we won't be making use of this line, but you're making use of this second line. So I'll just go ahead now and cut it out. Okay, sorry. I'll also come here on those 7 inches here, make a straight line to connect it this way. And I'll cut here straight. So I'll just go ahead to open up the zipper part. Okay, so I have this now. So to make my back, I'll just come up by 2 inches. And from there, I'll then cut it out. So I'll go to my machine now, and this is within my neck depth. So I'll go to my machine now and do the joinings. I'll join the front, then join the back. Then I'll come back and show you. If I join the front part, I'll attach it to the front part of my down, and I'll attach this back to the back part. Okay, when we are cutting this, I didn't talk about adding a cup to my dress and also cutting of lining, but I've done so now. I've cut out my lining that we use to line the clothes up. So here I'll be fixing my cup. So what I would do now is just to find the midpoint. I will just fold my cup this way. I'll just fold it into two to get the midpoint this way. I'll just notch here or mark it, then mark this place. So at this midpoint here, okay, after getting the center part, the edges, then at this my dress, at this center line, which is our nipple line, the center of this breast cup here will be at the center part, while this edge will be at the upper bust and the down edge will be at the under bust. So when you are tacking it, make sure that you open up this your sewing. Just open it up like this. Do not sew it this way. So open it up so it not to affect what you are doing. So I'll just open it up now, then fix this on top with carefulness. Those clothes is a stretchy material, so just keep it in the do your tacking. It's either you tack here and here, or you tack just at the center. So I'll be tacking at these two edges here. Okay, if you see, I use my needle to tack it up first, just to make a little bit tack. Just tight it a little bit so to serve as a guide for me, because this is a stretchy material. If it's not, I would have used my iron to just iron it so that this place will open up for me and be steady. So I will just go ahead now, fix it this way. I'll just fix it well, and I'll use my machine to run it up. So just make a little stitch there. So I'll do the same thing at the down part also. Okay, so this is it. So I'll just go ahead now and impute the second part the same way I did this one. Just find my midpoint and I'll attach it. Okay, this is what I have. This is what I have. So I'll just go ahead now and use my lining to turn it up, and I'll do the same thing at the back parts also. Okay, I'm through in joining the upper part and the lower part. Okay. And I've also done the same thing at the back part. I've joined the upper and the lower part. So I'll go ahead now and insert my zip and close the remaining part up for the back. Then I'll use my body measurements to join the front and the back together. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Till we meet in my next class. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Love you all. Bye.